This podcast is brought to you by the Alien Soda Company, your connection to pop culture and paranormal themed merch. AlienSodaCompany.shop for all things out of this world.
All right, on this episode of the Paranormal Mind podcast, we are going to talk about the black-eyed children.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so tune in. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Paranormal Mind podcast. And y'all can expect that every time. And if you're listening with headphones, I apologize. I know that's loud. I know it's jarring. I know you're annoyed at it.
You know what? This gets released at like midnight. So like if you're in the morning on your way home to work, you gotta wake up.
Yeah, but you may cause a wreck, dude.
That's true.
Yeah,
Well,
and then it's all your fault. It's
it
not my
wasn't me.
fault. And if you're watching the video version of all of this, you can see that the soundboard is in front of Josh. So don't y'all go blaming
all the
me.
evidence you need.
Don't y'all go blaming me for any of this stuff. That you and your soundboard stuff.
I take full responsibility.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Now, where's the sound? What did he say?
What did he say?
Does that not sound just like Josh?
What did he say?
It sounds just like Josh to
What do
me.
you guys think? I don't know.
It definitely. I thought it was you whenever you first did it.
Well, maybe.
I was like, this guy sounds super annoying.
Hey, you know what I'm going to do while we're in this podcast episode? If you guys are listening to this on audio right now, go ahead and rate us. Go ahead and give us a 5-star, please. We need some more. We need some more ratings.
Yeah, please do. And you can make fun of Josh all you want as long as you put 5 stars.
As long as there are 5 stars.
We don't care
I'd
what
do
you
something
say.
strange for a piece of change.
Oh my God. Moving on. All right. So have you heard about these black-eyed
Yes,
children?
I have.
Okay.
Let's do this.
So this is crazy. Okay.
Oh, it is.
It's crazy, and it gives me it creeps me out, dude. It creeps me out. So I first stumbled upon this like the whole phenomenon of black-eyed children years and years ago. Right? And let me tell you, it's trippy. So here's the deal. People all over the US and even some globally have been reporting encounters with these kids. They look normal. Well, mostly normal, except their eyes are completely black.
Man, I've got so many things about this.
I'm talking no whites, no irises.
All black.
Just jet black eyes. Like they're staring. It's like staring.
Middle of the night, you get a knock on your door. You open it up. Little kid, black eyes.
Yeah. I will punt that kid across the street.
He's getting yeeted right across.
I will punt. I will literally punt that kid.
And all he says is, "Can I come inside?"
No, you cannot.
No, denied. Access denied.
Get on, get.
That's when you pull out the dog boy.
Oh my.
Get now.
No, holy crap. But here's where it gets even weirder, okay? These kids, usually ranging from age 6 to 16, which, you know, all kids those ages are weird anyway. No offense.
Look, they look like they have black eyes.
Right. They approach people at their homes or cars, usually at night, like you were talking about, Josh.
Yep.
And they'll ask for something, a ride, to come inside, to use a phone.
I'll be spinning tires in front of that kid.
and then they get punted by Shane.
Can I get a ride? Nope.
and they always insist. But dude, everyone who meets them describes this overwhelming sense of dread. Like every alarm in their body is telling them, do not engage.
Yeah.
Do not engage.
Yeah, they get this sense of like fear and horror.
Yeah. And theories, man, there's a ton.
Tons.
Some say they're aliens, like a weird hybrid experiment. Others say they're some kind of demonic entity or even from another dimension.
I want to give a theory now.
Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Because I wanted to see if you're going to bring it up. Some people say that they are the spawn of the Men in Black. You ever heard of that one?
Yes, I have. And it's possible. That's what I was saying. That's what I was going to say just now whenever you cut me off.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang it.
Well, kind of. I was going to say I've heard theories that there's government government experiments.
Okay.
Which is kind of on the same vein. Yeah. So imagine that, the government breeding kids with black eyes to, I don't know, freak us the hell out. Jesus, what would
like an episode of Stranger Things.
What would be the goal in that? That's weird.
Yeah. Most of the times when the government does stuff like that, it's by accident. So they're like, uh-oh.
It's like a Stranger Things type thing, you know? Like if Levin coming, you know, blood pouring out of their nose, I'm going to make blood pour out of something. If you try to walk into my house, you and your little freakazoid self, I will. Yeah. I will make sure you do not enter my home. I don't care if you're a kid or not. No offense. Like,
put your foot down sometimes, man.
If you're some demonic kid,
sorry,
it's all over. It's game over. I'm sorry.
The earth is closed.
The earth.
Isn't that what they say in the Avengers? Isn't that what Tony Stark says?
I don't remember.
The earth is closed today.
I don't remember. I don't remember that line.
Well,
possibly. Now I'm going to have to look it up. It's going to drive me nuts. All right. But what really intrigues me is the consistency of these stories. It's like Bigfoot or UFO sightings where the sheer volume and similarity of accounts makes you wonder. It really makes you wonder. Is there some truth to this? And even if there isn't, what's causing all these people to experience and report the same exact thing?
Right.
Maybe it's a shared psychological phenomenon, or maybe, just maybe, there's something to this. Either way, it's an insane rabbit hole to dive into. So I was deep diving into it, and, you know, we'll talk about it, okay? So first things first.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, they're not your typical kids playing pranks.
Sure.
They're not. These stories.
First off, they got black eyes. If that didn't give it away.
Yeah. People who've encountered them describe them as eerily calm, but there's this underlying sense of malevolence.
Yeah.
Man, it's like, so they have pale skin.
That's what I was going to say. They have pale skin.
And those eyes, dude, they're like pitch black. Like I said, they're staring in, it's like staring into a black hole. That's how they describe it.
They're just little men in black babies.
Yeah. There's no emotion, no soul, just nothingness.
Ugh.
What's wild is where and how they approach you. They're not at parks or public places. They show up, again, like I said, at your door, usually late at night, and they'll come to your car where you're parked somewhere secluded. So
maybe there's some weird government experiment, like you said, and they were like, well, we really screwed this up. Off you go, kids.
I don't know. And then here's the thing that really gets me, right? They always ask for something, like I said.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they're waiting for the invitation.
Yeah. You know, there's a lot of movies based off of that, too, that kind of scenario. They kind of try and say that they're vampires, though.
Vampires, demons.
Yeah.
Like, because
you have to be invited in.
Right.
That's the thing.
They say demonic forces have to be welcomed.
Have to be invited. You have to accept them in.
Yeah. Oh, man, it's freaky. It's freaky. Now, if you've ever done any kind of martial art or just trusted your gut instinct.
Karate.
Yeah.
Karate.
You know when something's off, right?
Yeah.
And everyone who's encountered these kids feel an immense dread. Like I said, it's something like impending doom. It's something that, like, anxiety is like on high tilt. Like every fiber of their being is screaming to get away.
Ugh.
What's really got me hooked is the patterns. No matter where they happen, they've always reported all over the world. The basics are almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
Their reactions, It's like when fighters talk about being in the zone, there's a universal feeling people get around these kids, and it ain't good.
Mm-hmm.
The theories are all over the place. Aliens, demons, interdimensional beings, and even some weird manifestation of collective fear. But no one knows what happens if you let them in. All the stories are from people who resisted the urge, who slammed the door or drove away.
What about the ones that didn't?
Right. Where are they?
Well, that's a good name for for a movie. The ones that didn't.
The ones that didn't. Yeah. It's like the ultimate cliffhanger, though. Like, what happens? It's one of those mysteries, man, that keeps you up at night. You know, whether it's UFOs, Bigfoot, this world's got some weird stuff going on. And these black-eyed children, they're right up there with the wildest.
Yes. Agree.
So let's break it down, man. Like, what do you talked about? They could be like spawns of the Men in Black.
Only because I love the Men in Black, and you know.
But what do you think? Do you think that's a possibility, or what do you think?
I think so. So regardless of what the Men in Black are, because a lot of people say that they are not of this earth, right? And maybe we're hiring them for something. They have to have. You would think they have to have like some youngins out there, some kids. The reason I relate them together is because of what they look like too. So it's almost like, you know, the Men in Black, they try to imitate humans, and they do. It's what's uncanny valley is the feeling, right? Mm-hmm. Is like where they try to, but they're not human. So like humans have a way, which is what the uncanny valley is we can pick up on things that are trying to imitate us, but are not us. And it gives us a feeling of fear. It gives us a feeling of just like something bad is happening, like something's not right. I think, you know, black-eyed children are doing a similar thing, right? Trying to imitate kids, but they're not quite kids. Something's off with them, right? So, yeah, maybe they're relatives to the Men in Black.
Yeah, and I wonder, and you know, the Men in Black, it could be an interdimensional type thing too.
Yeah,
I really do. It reminds me more of like Alien. Like
yeah, for sure. I mean,
something alien is something.
Alien in like a broad term is just something that is not normal to us, right?
Not of this world.
Yeah.
It could be an interdimensional,
it could
maybe
be
a
a
different reality, different universe.
I do think, however, if that is what it is, and they are real, they've been here far long before we were.
But what would their objective be? To be punted by Shane? Is that their true objective? Maybe you show up at my house.
I'm not sure about the children. Maybe that's just an accidental thing, right?
Maybe they're not children. Maybe
that's true too.
Maybe they're disguising themselves as something. And maybe that's why you see just the black eyes and there's no void. There's just a void there. Maybe they're presenting themselves as something that they're not.
You know, that's a good question. Like you wonder, like, so people that do come across the black-eyed children, what do they have going on in their life? Are they privy to some type of information that is out there that maybe they don't need to have, or maybe they know something that they shouldn't know,
or maybe they're in a vulnerable point in their life,
right?
Like,
maybe this is influence,
where you let your guard down, and you're like, oh man, there's these kids that need help, but every single
what's
one,
the game plan?
Exactly,
the back, right?
That's what I'm saying.
So what's the end game on that?
Every story that's been told are from people that have resisted the urge. Why did they resist? Because of the appearance only. Like you would think normally, especially like if it's at night or whatever, if a kid comes to your door, you're going to be like, oh man, are you okay? Do you need help? Do you need to use the phone?
Right.
So why would you resist the urge if they're asking to use the phone, or if they're saying, hey, can I call my mom or my dad for help? Why would you resist and tell them no?
So
why
I think
would you
it's
tell
the
them
uncanny valley trait in a human that is causing them to resist. However, maybe that's all part of the thing, right? Maybe that's why black-eyed children maybe they approach only specific types of people. You know what I mean?
But
I don't know. I don't know what the end game of that is.
And then again, what if it's all a trick? what if your resistance opens you up to something?
Or maybe that's what they want. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
what
But that
if-
would still fall back on them picking out specific types of people, right?
True. But
Yeah.
like, what if they're resistant? What if if these kids were let in, good things would happen?
That's true. Or maybe nothing would happen. Like
Maybe nothing would happen.
Maybe
but
it's not even about the result of it, but the experience of seeing them that they want you to have, because maybe there's something that you need to see them for some other part of their plan to make sense. You know
well,
what I mean?
and you know,
don't know.
I've also read up on where some people believe that they're harbingers. They're like they're warning. They're
Right.
giving you a warning of impending doom, of something that's going to be happening later on in your life.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like they're there to tell you, hey, be on high alert. Which, you know, could make sense in some ways. I mean, kind of like the Mothman, the whole
for sure.
where the Mothman sighting happened before the Silver Bridge collapsed. Could be the same type scenario where they show up in specific cases where something bad may be going to happen.
Maybe.
Or something bad already happened and they're just there as harbingers of, I guess.
It's hard to understand the big picture on some of this stuff. You know, it goes back to the Men in Black. If they are indeed the Men in Black and there are people out there doing specific tasks that we will never understand, why?
So what would you do if any black-eyed kid?
That kid could not have black eyes, and I'd be like, get out of here.
You really would? Like, no, you wouldn't. I know you.
Bet. If they come to my door, I'd be like, what are you doing in my yard?
Okay, so if they didn't have the appearance, like the black eye.
Let me tell you something. And my niece is sitting in the background right now. We got a kid that goes up and down our neighborhood right now, and he loves to frequent my yard. Let me catch him. Let me catch him in my yard. And be like, I'll put the fear of God in him.
See, I've known you for a long time. I don't see you kicking a kid off your porch.
Oh, I would. 100%. Am I wrong? Because it's not about me. Like, I am super protective of my family.
Yeah, but if it's a freaking 7 or 8 year old kid, or a 6-year-old kid.
So here's my first thought,
because they appear from 6 to 16 years old.
When they show up, my first thing is, okay, where's your parents? Are your parents putting you up to this? Because it absolutely could be a case like that. It
very
happens.
well could be. But what if there's a 6-year-old kid that's crying and saying, "Hey, I need help"?
I'd be like, something ain't right here.
Would you kick the kid off the porch?
So first, I'd be like,
that's what I'm saying. I don't think.
What do you need help? I wouldn't let him in the house. Wouldn't let him.
You wouldn't let a 6-year-old kid in the house.
I will.
Now. Okay. So with me, I would let if I didn't see any parents around, I would be like, "Oh my God, are you okay? What are you doing out here alone?"
As soon as you open the door and let them in, they're going to try and their parents are going to come out of nowhere and
maybe. But
trying to
I'm saying, if you don't see black eyes or you don't see the pale skin, my first inclination would be to protect. So, like, okay, if you're a 6-year-old kid,
what if the parents are like, "Oh, we're gonna, there's crazy people out there."
Oh, I know.
And you let them inside your house, and then all of a sudden you're a kidnapper.
That's true, man. But like, what? Okay, let's change the circumstance.
I would stay outside with them.
Even if it's storming outside, anything like that. Like, I mean, you got to think about it. Like, I'm just saying, in these scenarios, which very well could happen, like, would you deny access to a young kid? Like, if they're looking like they need help, I wouldn't.
If they
had black eyes, I'm kicking them as far as I possibly can.
I mean, if the conditions were absolutely terrible outside and I had to make a split, I would let them inside.
Okay.
You got me. But any other time?
But in that situation, let's say that they were like a black-eyed kid.
Now, if they had
what would you do? What would you do once they were inside?
If they had black eyes, I wouldn't be letting them in. Period. None.
What if they said they just had a genetic disorder?
You're going to have that genetic disorder somewhere else. Bye. Cool. Genetic disorder your way out the door.
But see, you wouldn't do that with like let's say a kid had an extra arm. Like, you, it's just more love, more they can hold you with an extra arm.
I'd be like, all right, tripod. Scoot.
Tripod, did you really go there? Holy shit, dude. We have hit a new low on this podcast.
All right,
Tripod. Oh man, that's a new shirt idea. No, that's horrible. But like, so the reason why I was asking you is like I said,
I have a kid.
well, like if a
the
kid,
reason I'm asking you,
like if a kid showed up and looked like they were in distress, if they didn't have the black eyes or the pale skin, I would let them in. So then it begs the question. So like if there are these kids or whatever out there and they have an agenda, if there are others out there that have let these type of children in and we don't hear from them because something bad happened and we don't hear that story.
Yeah.
What is that objective? Is it a visitation, or like what if it is an alien type thing?
Or maybe they don't even remember it.
Oh, well, and maybe whenever they stare into the eyes too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See?
You stare into those
soulless eyes.
Yeah.
They got you then.
Then you lose your soul. No, but what if they are like alien type creatures and maybe if you let them inside, that's how the abduction happens or that's how they experiment on you.
That's right.
And that's when you don't remember.
Yeah, that's how they're.
So, Josh, you could be like getting anal probed.
Maybe it's already happened.
Josh probably got anal probed.
I did have a little pain back there when I came in for the podcast.
All right, I think we're going to end this episode. How long have we been going now?
21 minutes.
21
22.
minutes. That's good enough. That's good enough. Well,
yeah,
thank y'all. Y'all let us know what you think about the black-eyed children. If you've ever had a similar encounter or a weird encounter with somebody, maybe it doesn't have to be a kid, where they might have showed up at your house and then you never saw them again and you don't know where they came from. Let us know your story. We really like to hear that. And if you have a story about black-eyed children that we haven't touched on this podcast,
not children that you gave black eyes to.
Right.
They have to
if you did that, don't let us know that.
Yeah, we don't want to know about that.
No, because then we'll report it.
Yeah, that's a crime.
Yeah. But thank y'all so much for listening to this episode of the Paranormal Mind podcast. Please go check out our sponsors, aliensodacompany.shop. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/searchersbelieve. And again, until the next episode, searchers out, guys.
We'll see you. Don't be opening your doors to black-eyed children.